Back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing the Toronto Raptors 2018 offseason predictions. Of course, they just lost to the Cavaliers, got swept yesterday. So what does this team do from here? They literally met LeBron in the playoffs the last 3 seasons, and they've been eliminated every time. So I mean, what can the Raptors really do? Is it time to blow it up, or do they think, well, let's try it again? I mean, like, there's not really much you can do, man. But I did see an interesting tweet the other day, I think it was actually today, that does it make sense to blow up a Raptors team that for a guy that might not even be in the Eastern Conference next year, which is talking about LeBron maybe not even being in the Eastern Conference next year, which is kind of, I'm not sure if that's a possibility, because I mean, look, that's basically banking on the opportunity that LeBron is going to go to the Lakers. I mean, do we really think that's going to happen? I mean, how many of you guys actually think that might happen? It seems realistic and all, but I just don't see LeBron leaving the Eastern Conference when he's dominated it pretty much his whole career. So why would he leave the Eastern Conference? He has no reason to. I mean, he's been succeeding very well in the Eastern Conference. So I still think the Raptors are probably going to make some significant changes off season, or they need to anyway. So where that starts, I have no idea, but I'm gonna go ahead and see what I can do with this Raptors team. This is the predictions. Let's see what I think this team's gonna do this off season. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So they don't have a draft pick, so we don't have to worry about that. But one thing that I think might happen is, as much as Dwayne Casey has succeeded with this team, it is all about the playoffs. It succeeded in the regular season. It's all about the playoffs, and I believe that they will most likely fire Dwayne Casey this offseason. I know it sounds dumb and silly, but the Raptors are really wanting to bank on playoff success. I mean, they want to succeed in the playoffs, of course, but Dwayne Casey hasn't led them that way. But it's LeBron James. You can't really blame Dwayne Casey. Could I see them firing Dwayne Casey this offseason? Yes, I very much could. Will they? That is interesting to think about. I don't know if they will for sure. It's a big possibility that they do fire him, though, just because they've lost in the playoffs the last 3 seasons. But like I said, it's because of LeBron James. But because of the Raptors, I think I could see them firing Dwayne Casey and heading a different direction with the team. So I'm going to go ahead and fire him just because I could see that something like that happening. And then we're going to go just sign a random head coach. I don't know who they're going to get as a replacement, but we're going to go ahead and offer some replacements out there. So Jason Kidd, tentative, and Bill Booth accepts. We reject Jason Kidd. All right, whatever. So that's our new head coach. Not very important, but like I said, I don't think we have a first round pick. I looked it up on the internet, and they don't have a first round pick. They do not. All right, so when you look at this team, the only thing the Raptors can realistically really do is trade. They can only use trades. And I mean, who would they trade? I have no idea. They got Kyle Lowry left on a 2-year deal worth $31 million. You got DeRozan on a $27 million contract, which I honestly think you could trade either one of those two. But considering that DeMar DeRozan is a little bit younger than Lowry, I think the big possibility is that they trade Kyle Lowry here. So today, we're going to be splitting up the Toronto Raptors, the best friend backcourt. We're going to be trading Kyle Lowry. I'm not sure where to, but we're going to figure it out. In a desperate attempt to win now for the Denver Nuggets, they consider something like this. The Nuggets have always been said they need a point guard. Jamal Murray is a good piece to the Denver Nuggets, but he's not a natural point guard. If you bring in Kyle Lowry to kind of join the mix, be that veteran presence for the Denver Nuggets, and then you got Kyle Lowry, a second rounder, Jamal Murray, Kenneth Faried, Wilson Chandler, and a second round pick for Kyle Lowry. What could something like that do? That gives the Raptors a building block in Jamal Murray. You know, just in case they want to start a rebuild process, Jamal Murray is there at his young stages. He's also a nice win now point guard as well. He's not bad, so he's really not a bad player at all. So I'm gonna make something like this happen. They're probably gonna decline this, but let's send it through. We like what we have as far as this trade concerned. Maybe this makes a little bit more sense. Lottery protected 2019 Raptors pick, 2020 protection backup. I actually like this a little bit better. This is actually a fair trade, I think. So you're trading 2 first rounders, but they're protected, so not a big deal. So we're gonna go ahead and trade these 2 first rounders. Actually, if we can trade just 2 more seconds, I will go ahead and make this happen. So let's see if they'll take it. They still want to do that crap. Whatever. Let me just go back to the original trade. And they want to do this. All right, so we'll do this. not very comfortable trading these 2 first rounders. I mean, I could force it to go through right now without doing this, but since it's on the screen for me already, I'm going to make this trade go through. So now Kyle Lowry's on the Denver Nuggets, and the Raptors get some nice pieces. And Kenneth Reed, they got Jamal Murray now. We got Wilson Chandler, OG Anunoby. So we have a lot of threes, so definitely need to fix that. Of course, we got OG Anunoby as well, very young player as well. Very good small forward, so gonna be fixing that. But of course, 1-year deals was the big thing. You got Kenneth Reed and Wilson Chandler on 1-year deals, so they can both walk. And then Jamal Murray has another team option after this year, and Jakob. So they do have some nice young players on this roster, so that's why it's very nice to bring in Jamal Murray to play next to DeMar DeRozan, which you might have to move on from eventually. You still have Serge Ibaka, which I'm not sure anyone to take that contract on, but I might attempt to trade him as well. So Serge Ibaka could be on the move. And then we also have CJ Miles, and let's see if we can trade those 2 contracts as well. So we're going to be trying to make a trade like this happen. So Serge Ibaka and CJ Miles. CJ Miles will be back to the Pacers, and then Thaddeus Young back, or not really back with the Raptors, but let's see if we can get a second rounder out of them as well. So let's see if something like this would make sense, and they agree. I mean, I'm not saying that's where Serge is going to go, but like I said, it's a move that could be made. And you got Thaddeus Young on a 1-year deal as well. So the team is kind of set up for the future a little bit. You got Jonas Valanciunas is going to be a player option, and DeMar DeRozan's the only one locked up going forward. So basically, the Raptors are kind of in a rebuild mode, and there's not a lot the Raptors can really do. I mean, they have DeMar DeRozan still, which DeMar DeRozan might want to be traded as well now that the team around him is getting worse. So maybe something like that could happen next year or at the trade deadline. So it's looking different. Definitely a different looking Raptors team. Now, I'm not saying that this could happen. I'm not saying that this is definitely going to happen. It's a possibility. The Raptors trade Serge Ibaka, Kyle Lowry for expiring contracts. Maybe get a nice young piece with it and Jamal Murray. It's just something that can happen, guys. The Raptors can blow it up. They can also stay the same. I don't like them staying the same. I think it'd be kind of silly if they tried to stay the same. But of course, we still have free agency, but we don't have a ton of money to work with. But the good part is we actually have Fred VanVleet still out there. We have Norman Powell still out there, and Lucas Naguire still out there. We can release these cap holds, but it's not going to do a lot. I'm going to go ahead and renounce him. Norman Powell, I think, deserves another opportunity with another team, so I'm going to renounce him. But Fred VanVleet is a good piece you want to bring back. But when you look at this team, we got Jamal Murray, DeLon Wright as a backup point guard, DeMar DeRozan, Malachi Richardson, Wilson Chandler, OG Anunoby, Kenneth Reed, Thaddeus Young. And then you got Pascal Siakam still, and you got Jonas Valanciunas and Jakob. So now what you want to do definitely is I'm going to move DeLon Wright to the shooting guard position because they're going to be our guards. We're going to get Fred VanVleet back, of course. So let's move DeLon Wright to the shooting guard position. And it did say he would resign, so we're going to go ahead and give him $9.15 million for 3 years. Still a tradable contract, so we're going to go ahead and offer that, and he hasn't said anything yet, so that's fine. But let's go ahead and get Fred VanVleet back real quick, and then that's all we really need to do. And it's saying we don't have enough money to do that. We should be able to get Fred VanVleet back. Oh, there it is. So now we get DeLon Wright and Fred VanVleet back, locked up. 2 years left for Fred VanVleet and DeLon Wright with 3 years. Okay, so now we got our players back, and now it's going to look different. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and submit to the rotation. I'm going to show you guys new official rotation.